Okay. Well, I'm doing this video because I'm gonna be out of breath because I ran upstairs, ran downstairs. Anyway, so I'm doing this video because someone had asked me, and I did already record before, and I held on to it because sometimes I do videos and I'm very passionate. And this was one of those videos where I was very passionate about because it closes a chapter for me when it comes to Haiti. And the reason why I titled this video that I closed the chapter on Haiti, is because there's really no other option as far as I'm concerned. I had gotten involved with wanting to help the Haitian people because of the earthquake. I saw what happened and I was just devastated. And I started doing more and more research, and I found, just by mistake actually, information about the island of La Gonave, and which is a part of Haiti, but it's their biggest island. And found more research, did more research, found more about it, and realized it was the poorest place in Haiti. Haiti's poor. It's the poorest in this part of the world, but even La Gonave Island is even poorer. So I wanted to help, and so I did all this research, went there, helped people, and the people were great. The people of Haiti are beautiful. I mean, honestly, it's just such a unique, beautiful culture. I have stuff, right back there. That's from Haiti. I have a lot of things all over the house from Haiti, and I'm glad that I bought those things when I bought them, because as of right now, I don't think I'll ever go back. And that wasn't what I had hoped for at all. It's kind of sad, because I had all these hopes and dreams of what I wanted to do, and now that's just not going to happen. In the video I had done prior, I had stated that I think Haiti has lost its way, because I feel like that the country itself has really put the dollar above everything else. The leadership of Haiti has put money above its people, and has done so for so long that now corruption is a part of society. That everyday citizens are corrupt. Not all the people. By no means. There's a lot of good people that are there, and unfortunately, you have most people who have a good job in government or some sort of government entity or something like that. I can't trust any of them. I feel like all of them are corrupt. I know people who are a part of the very small middle class that's in Haiti, and they're corrupt also. Talked about a business owner who we went and bought plywood and other materials, and so we had to go back and get some people to help bring it, because there's no good roads on La Gonave Island, and there was no truck, so they had to move everything on motorbike. Imagine moving everything, big pieces of plywood, on a motorcycle. When we went back, the wood had changed. It was a knobby piece of plywood, very thin. It didn't have the plywood we wanted, had a red band around the outer edges of the wood. This didn't have that. And it was much lower quality. And they were going to try to scam us. And I told the owner, this is why your country is where it's at. We can blame France all day long, but Haiti has lost its way. There was a time when that was not the case. You can go back in the 50s and 60s, things might be a little different, and it was really a touristy destination. The country has lost its way. And you can't just blame it on one particular instance. There's been many. Now, I agree that nonprofits have been a problem, because a lot of them promise a lot and don't really deliver. And I understand that there are circumstances outside of most people's control there in Haiti. And again, the average person is not the problem. It is though, and that's the bulk of the people. 95% of the people probably are not the issue. It's the other part. And I did that video with a lot of passion and was very upset because I had tried to get a lot of things going, and I had two politicians that stood in the way. The mayor basically said he has no power to do anything. And when you talk to someone else who was a government figure, he was actually an ex-version of a senator here. He literally was looking for money. He wanted to get kickbacks. While his people struggled, he wanted financing for himself. And he brought in a friend who was an interpreter, and she lived in America, and she was going to get some money. She was also Haitian. And I'm not Haitian at all, and it's like you should be wanting to improve your country so that everyone's life is better and you have a growing middle class and everyone starts to make more money. That's not the thinking. And again, the country has lost its way. And then you saw the assassination. The country has lost its way. And then now you've seen kidnappings that have happened every single day. And we talk about the 17 Americans that are taken. I think one's Canadian, 16 are American, but there was 50 people taken the day before that who are Haitian. And when I told the corrupt government official that I would never go back there again, I also told one lady who was helping me with this project, because again, she didn't want to dedicate too much time when she realized there was not going to be direct money for her, because the money is used. You want to put as much money as you can to help solve the situation. You're just there as an advisor. And when she couldn't benefit completely out of it, she didn't really want to do much. And that's the circumstance. I'm not asking people just do stuff for free, but this was a project to help the people dramatically. And so I put all that energy now in Tacoma, and it's bearing fruit. There's a lot of projects that I'm a part of now that people have sought me out to help with. So I put all that energy here, but and I'll get a return on investment. Here I don't have a problem with charging people whatever I want and all of this, that, and the other. Versus there helping the Haitian people, I wouldn't charge them anything. That's why a lot of the projects, people have to be volunteers, people that have the ability to be volunteers so that the very poor could actually eat. Because if I have to pay all these other people who don't need it money, then it takes out of these other people's pockets. And we're not talking a long day's worth of work. We're talking an hour or two of commitment. And you can't get that. And so now you have a situation where you have people who are there, missionaries. And, not everybody likes the fact that missionaries are going to places like Haiti and telling the Haitians that your religion is wrong and your beliefs are wrong, believe my way. Because sometimes that happens. I'm not saying that's the case with these individuals. But you have gangs which have now taken over the country. And it's not like they just now started doing that. They have done that for quite some time. And you have a government that is not capable of stopping it. And you have a people who don't want anyone else to help them. But they don't want outside help, but they want your money. They don't want Americans to come there or some foreign entity to come there and try to get some sort of order and rule and lock these gangsters up. They don't want that to happen because they say that we're more than capable of doing it. But obviously not when you have your own leader gunned down. And we really don't know the full details as to what happened. Who was truly involved? We don't know. And when I say it's lost its way, it's because that is the case. The country is incapable at this point of leading itself. People may be offended, but it's the facts. For 50 years, the country has not improved its GDP. for 50 years. There was a time when Haiti and Dominican Republic were equal in terms of their power. Dominican Republic has an economy that's many, many times bigger than Haiti's. And it's due to the massive corruption, not only on the government level, but on the citizens level, to the point where no one wants to invest. There was a time when people had some hope in the citizens. But when you have regular citizens saying, no, we don't want you here, the 95% that are great people, we don't want you here because we've had so many bad experiences, but we wouldn't mind if you sent some sort of financial aid. It's like, no. You can't blame them because the country has been taught to be a donor nation, because there's been so many nonprofits that use Haiti for their advantage and to basically tug at people's heartstrings. People donate money, and a lot of these nonprofits stuff it in their pockets and give a small smidgen of help to the locals. Or they're told, you have to believe the way that we do, and then we'll help you. And so it now has this idea that the only way that you're going to be of help is if you give me money. And when you look at these thugs who are basically holding these people hostage, they're saying, give me money or they're going to take them out. I gotta be careful with the YouTube. This gang leader says he doesn't have a problem with making sure that they don't live if he doesn't get his demands met. And this is now, not only has tourism in that country fallen over the many years, and not only did a prominent company that used to make sports equipment in that country left many years back and sent it to some other country nearby. Now, so when it comes to industry, it's just shot. Now you have a situation where NGOs who do keep, some of them, even though some of them do wrong, they are the way that a lot of people get their education, because Haiti doesn't even have the ability to educate its population en masse. Now you have nonprofits saying, if this is what's going to happen, if this is going to be the situation where it's just chaos and anarchy and there's no rule, there's no nothing, we can't, be safe, then why come here? It only puts the country in much more worse circumstances. And the president, the Ariel Henry or whatever, was saying that, when you have poor people, of course they're going to come to America's soil. Of course they're going to come to America's soil. And my response to that is that he has the power to change a lot of the situation there. He has the power to basically say, look, we've lost our way. We have no way of controlling these gangs, which occupied big parts of Port-au-Prince and other places, and all the violence they've never seen before. We need help. We can't do it. So please come help us. Be it just the United States, not the United Nations. United States, please help. They need a whole new financial strategy. Their money is trash at this point. There's no value within it. Inflation is massive. Massive. I mean, inflation's bad everywhere, but imagine a place where the currency is just so weak and the cost of goods is so high, when it was the opposite not long ago. And now it's further and further and further. So when I said back when the president was assassinated that it's going to get worse, it's going to get worse. This is worse. It's going to get even worse than this, because you're witnessing a country collapsing. Now, some people will say that's it's being pessimistic, but you're witnessing a country that is collapsing. Dominican Republic is even trying to help. But it's been going on for far too damn long that there's nothing now at this point that you can really do to stabilize that country, unless you literally have to say, look, get out of the way. because to the leadership, get out of the way. Obviously, you have millions of lives here, and this country is going to collapse. And I think it's a short-sighted view with some of the oligarchs that are there, because you have a country that is going to go to pits, and all of the investments that they have is going to go to pits. It's not like everybody else struggles and suffers and you don't. Eventually it will catch up to where you are too, to where everybody suffers. Now, the oligarchs can pack up and leave, buy their way out. But their reign of terror of literally just saying, let's charge as much as we can to people, and let's bribe whatever we can, and bribe this and bribe that. Those days are coming pretty, it's getting limited. It's getting limited. And so, yeah, I honestly feel like this is a chapter that is closed for me. I had hoped to go back there. I can't honestly, in good conscience, go back to a place where safety is absolutely out of the question. There's no safety there. There's no safety. And you don't have a cooperative group of individuals who have the ability to make change. You just don't have it. So people throw in the towel. It makes sense why investors have avoided the country, because you're going to lose your money. It's completely unstable. And it's not just in Port-au-Prince. The whole country is becoming unstable. There comes this point when they say that no man is an island, and I know that Haiti is an island, but no man's an island. It doesn't mean that just because you're on an island that you can just do for self in a democratic society, because you're going to end up in this type of situation. You need other people. You need advice. The Haitians don't know everything in the world. Americans don't know everything in the world. But you can definitely get some collaboration from other people and say, hey, this is what we need to do. How do we improve this? How do we improve that? What do we need to do for this and that? And that's what you need to do. But the issue now is so massive. I don't know. This LaCroix is all right. It's all right. I don't really know what the solutions would be. I really don't. I just know that the investment I had planned for that country was going to be much greater. Much greater. There was a lot of things I had actually lined up and planning for. Nope. That money is going to be spent right here. In fact, Noelle and I just got a call from someone, and this is not a bragging thing. I want to buy a small building here. We got a call about that. But yeah, hey, the power's off there, but it's going to be back on. Can you please come in and check it out then? But that was money that would have went to help Haiti, not in terms of a handout, but to start industry there and all of that. I'm not talking like a big old factory, no, but I'm not. Nothing like that, but like a small type of operation, that would have been the case. I had contacted officials, had land that was even going to be considered for a small, on Lago Nave Island, for a small college. That was what I was going to help do. Now, we're not talking, people think college, whoa, it's not like that, bro. It was going to be a small building and, grow from there type of thing. And the education was going to be free for people. That was going to be what was going to happen. Not going to happen now. Country's too unstable. It may happen in the future if that country becomes stable. Let's say if it was like it was in the year 2000, maybe. I don't even know if it was stable then. I can't remember. There was a time when it was all right. It was on the mend right before the earthquake. It goes back to just that, then okay, maybe. But it's going to take a lot of work. A lot of work. And now you have stuff like this. You're not going to have a lot of even missionaries who will be willing to go. And you're not going to have a lot of people who run nonprofits who are not a part of a missionary want to go to that country, because guess what? You have to land typically in Port-au-Prince. So in getting to the airport, and that's what happened with these individuals. I do hope that they come home. Hopefully there won't be any sort of problems or issues. And I feel for the people of Haiti. My heart goes out to them. But anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to join the Discord down in the description box below. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and comment. Until next time, I will see you. Take care.